afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all right. I'm sorry I didn't do a post about this earlier. I actually meant to. Today we're going to be making some artist trading coins. So I've got some of the Bee Crafty MDF trading coins. I've also got, we're going to be using some of the sketchy flowers today. I did actually mean to leave one completely uncoloured, but I got carried away colouring in. Doesn't that just happen though? For me, I don't, you know. It does just happen, doesn't it? Getting carried away when you're colouring in. That's why we like it so much. Okay, so, but we will finish colouring that one off in a little bit. So yeah, so we're going to make some artist trading coins. Now, these are really good fun. If you want to just sort of kickstart some of your mojo, just have a bit of fun. Because I think with our art journals, for example, our art journals used to be, you know, the time we'd take, hello Pauline, would be the time we'd take to do something just for us, nothing too pressurised or whatever. But I think now we've got to the stage where we want to make sure everything that's in our art journal is good, which is understandable, obviously. Hello Shazar! Sammy's going to be a bit late today, so, you know, don't be hanging around waiting for her. But I think when you make something like ATCs, or obviously over at Bee Crafty at the minute we're doing the Bee Crafty deck and things like that, it is stuff just for a bit of mindful crafting, just a little bit of fun, nothing that we're going to take too seriously, or, you know, not that I take any of it seriously. It's fun, it's what we do for fun. Okay, so like I say, I've got 3 of the MDF artist trading coins we have. We do also do MDF artist trading cards if you would prefer to do your ATCs on MDF. We do both, and I have decided upon, hang on, just picked up another one, this Bee Crafty Catalyst paper. If you haven't seen our Catalyst papers before, they are printed Japanese rice paper, which are brilliant for taking mediums. They're ever so durable, but they're really, really light, which means they're mouldable for putting over texture paste if you want to, or onto 3D items or onto MDF. Now, for me, I just think they're the quickest way to decorate anything. I use them a lot in ATCs. You will have seen me in here before using them when I was doing my MDF journal. That's still not finished, so we will return to that at some point. But today I just fancied a little bit of MDF coinage. Yes, indeedy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my coins, all right, and then we're going to get some collage matte medium. Okay, now I will say, if you were going on, all of our MDF is FSC approved, so it's all from like sustainable forestry and all that sort of malarkey. It's not a malarkey, it's very serious, but you know what I mean. Anywho, as with any MDF, if you are covering it with something paler, be that ink or paint or whatever, I would suggest priming it, but I won't lie, it's not something I do a lot because I'm impatient. I am an impatient crafter, and I admit it, basically. I want results, and I want them quickly. And, you know, so I'm going to turn this around, and I am actually going to space these coins out a little bit. But yeah, I don't prime. I probably should if I'm putting more of a yellow tone of paper over them. But, you know, I'm not gonna. Now, our Catalyst papers, you can make them go more or less translucent, to be honest, with the amount of medium you use. So, for example, if you're using one of our papers that's got, for example, a lot of white space, so you see here the white accents I've put on, but if you were doing something that had a lot of white space, and you didn't want to see the MDF through it, you know, because it will go translucent if you apply enough medium or water, I would say, yeah, just give it a go with some gesso or some white acrylic paint or something beforehand. So you'll see, I've put these in the separate areas. I'm just working around the edges, because that is going to make these edges really easy for sanding off once it's dry. I'm just going to work it round. So you can use water to tear this, you can cut it with your scissors, you can just rip it. It's really, really up to you. So you can see where those 3 circles are now. So I've sort of put one in the yellowy section, one in the blue section, one in the pink. Okay? It's almost like it was intentional. Which it was. I know this pot's getting empty. I've got a Ranger order in. I'm hoping it turns up really, really soon. Because it's got exciting things on it. It's got more of this and more grit paste, which again we'll come back to in a second. And just things I want. Some more of the gloss drops. Because I've had to stop using them. I feel like I've had to stop using them for demos because we don't have any at the minute. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so I've got, like I said, I've got these. Okay, which is these, that is from the Sketchy Birds, and these are from the Sketchy Flowers. Okay, they are on the website as a bundle. I will come back and I'll put links on later if Sam doesn't make it, so you can catch up with all them. But all I've used to colour them with is Distress Oxide. So I've got another blending mat here where I have smushed some Distress Oxide on, and then just spritzed it with some water. It's the method I use the most, I would say, for colouring, because it is just so quick and easy. And like I said very early on in this live, impatient crafter party of one. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up some of this yellow to put on the tips of my sort of tulipy one. I love tulips. They're my favourite. I think because they're just so beautiful in their simplicity, really. There you go, you can see. Easy peasy. And that's why I love it. And they sort of blend so easily, because this is not necessarily blended cardstock. You know me, especially if I'm doing small things, they're out of whatever was nearest at the time. Not necessarily the most appropriate cardstock for the task. But I think that's okay. I really do. Right, so then I'm going to get my heat tool. And I'm going to give that a quick waft before we add on some white accents with our white pen. Okay, you can see I've already added some to the others. So all of our catalyst papers, some of them are more freehand for you to add, or that are really just a really good background for you to start. And you can see they've got white accents and stuff on. Okay, but we also have, there's 4 sets on the website. Again, I'll put links on later. But we also have ones that are made using Bee Crafty product, using our stamps, using our Inkables and that sort of thing. So therefore, if you're using Bee Crafty products with them, it'll all sort of go. I wouldn't say match, because I'm not sure that's entirely what we're going for. But it will, you know, work. There are tulips in the supermarket yesterday. Oh, lovely. I couldn't have tulips at my wedding, because I love tulips, but we got married in August, so it's just not really doable. Okay, so I'm just going to take my white pen. Now, with these sketchy flowers, obviously there's lots of sort of sketchy lines and little highlights, and you can just work your way along them and just pick out whichever bits you fancy, really. So I'm just going to add some little white dots to the end of sort of like the veins of the petals that I've put on. And if there isn't enough, then I'll just add some more. Okay, and you can see I've put some more down the leaves. So that's the 3 we've got. So I went sort of for a purpley yellow, a pink, and then the bluey one. So now you can see why I picked out the sections of the paper I did. It's almost like I've got a plan. Very close. Okay. So I'm going to give these a quick waft with my heat tool. Okay. But I don't want to force them dry completely. I just think you get a better stick if you let them do a lot of the drying themselves. But they're almost there, to be honest. Okay, so you can see it is slightly darker than the paper because of the colour of the wood coming through. But that's okay, because like I said, we're using it as a base. Alright, so whilst that is finishing up, what it's doing. What we're going to do is we're going to get some white card again. So I'm going to delve into this scrap and get this piece here. And we're going to use some of the wordage small words. I can't lie, I do tend to lean into these when I'm doing artist trading coins, the Bee Crafty deck, those sorts of things, just because they're just this lovely small. I keep telling myself I'm going to do a small words too, but I just haven't got to it. Because these lovely small words, you can break the phrases down, you can just pick out single words, and it just works, and they're the right sort of size, basically. So I'm going to grab one of my Super Skinny Slims, which I am actually going to clean at some point, I promise. Alright, so I'm going to go with, I think I'm just going to pick out some individual words. So I'm going to go for, I'm just going to get my Versafine Clear. I'm going to go for beautiful, and then, oh, what's a good one? Oh, see, journey, that's already on its own, so I think we'll go with that one. Might have over inked that a little bit. I'm going to be light with the stamping. And then I think I'm going to go with imagine. So here where it says imagine something wonderful, I'm going to go with the imagine off the beginning of that. I have been doing a bit of catch up on the Bee Crafty YouTube channel, adding on some of the other lives, the ones we've done here, the ones we've done on the Bee Crafty page. So if you do like to watch or catch up with videos on YouTube, go and have a look there. If you are joining us on YouTube and you've never seen us before, please click subscribe, because yeah, it all helps, as daft as it sounds. You know, in this current here 21st century we're living in, subscriptions matter. Okie dokie, so I'm going to give that a quick waft with my heat tool. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to do one better. I'm going to grab some clear embossing powder, some detail clear, because the Versafine Clear, I find, is absolutely the best ink for stamping sentiments and things like that, because it's so intricate, really good for the intricate stamps. But I do find, even if I heat set it, I still manage to smudge it. That imagine's a little bit smudged on the eye, but I'm okay with imperfections. Okay. I'm happy it's not a pressure I have. Alright. So here we go. I'm going to start. I'm going to give these another little waft with my heat tool. I'm actually going to cut them out. I don't always cut them out, but because I'm doing the three. So for example, you may have seen me do my, like I say, a page in my MDF journal here in a slightly similar way. And I did just sand it straight out of the paper. But I think with having two other circles attached, that is going to be slightly more difficult. Okay, so if you do have a Bee Crafty blending mat, do not heat on it. Okay, it's for blending, not heating. We use a brown non-stick craft sheet for heating, and I have stuck mine to a board because I'm liable to basically it'll end up on the floor, I'll roll over it, and then it'll have big creases, and it's just a nightmare. Whereas if it's on a board, it's a bit more solid, protects me whatever I'm working over the top of, so I can just lift it up. Okay, so I'm going to get, let's see where we are. So I'm just going to get an emery board, go around the outside. So for example, if I was making these, for want of a better description, for myself, you know, and I wasn't here doing it with you guys, I would have probably done this bit first and then done all of my stamping and cutting out after, and that way they could have had time to dry on their own. Okay. But you can see as they're getting drier, that pink is coming back, and almost like the woody colour is fading a little bit as the matte medium's drying out. So we're just going to carry on. I have to say, I won't get rid of these. They're really, really handy for using on things like the Bee Crafty deck and in your journal, just for if you need just a little bit to cover a corner, or some ink has gone somewhere you didn't want it to go. You know. There we go. And then I should lift that out of the way. I'm trying to work more tidily today. I'm getting mixed results. Okay, and then go on for this one, which is the palest one. It's supposed to have a bit more blue on it, so we might add a bit more of that in. Just to, you know, make sure it's looking how we want. Alrighty, let's lift that out of the way. And then we've got our 3 artist trading coins. Now, on here you can see all the paint pen work and all the pen work detail that I've put on it. But that's already been done for you. So the good thing about that is, it means if you like to add more on, you can, but it's taken some of the, you know, the reason they're called catalyst papers is so it can, you know, jumpstart where you're crafting. But if you then want to start doing templates and stamping on it, and cut, you know, if you want to stamp, for example, these, if I can pick one up, onto your catalyst paper, cut them out for decoupaging onto things, that's brilliant. Absolutely do that. But please show us, not because, you know, we're you know, trying to, you know, get involved in your biz. Well, we are a bit, because we're nosy and we want to see what you do. But that's the only reason. It's just pure nosiness. Interest. I'm trying to think of another word that makes me sound better about it. Right. I'm going to grab... I'm feeling a bit... I don't want to use the word retro, because that makes me sound like as old as I am. But I'm going to go for a bit of origin. So catalyst papers and the sketchy flowers, they're some of the newer things we've done. So in terms of adding in some texture, I'm going to head back to Inkables set 1. Okay, and we're going to add in some texture with the very first set of Inkables, which are great. So when Inkables were conceptualised, oh, there's a good word. For a Thursday as well. A wet, rainy Thursday. Conceptualised. Yeah, I bet you I can't use that again today. It's a good word, though. I bet you Shaz is impressed with that. Right? Oh, see, that's even sadder than my collage medium. I'm not using any more grit paste, am I, until that range order turns up. Yes. When they first came into the idea of being conceptualised, it was actually in case... So this was before, you know, the world fell apart in a COVID. But it was really... So if you were just starting out, or you were not even starting out crafting, but you were just starting out doing more mixed media things, and you wanted to get some textures in, or art journaling and you wanted a selection of templates, it was a low-cost way of starting that, for want of a better description, journey. My dad hates that. You know, we're on the X Factor and they're going, oh, this is my journey. My dad hates that. Anyway, I digress. And it was so, you could, like I say, you could add several textures in for the same money, if you see what I mean. And that's what I love about them. And now we have, I want to say 12 different sets of Inkables. But then we also have the texture discs, again, which are different patterns but in circles and all this sort of thing. So if you haven't checked out our range of stencils and templates is called Inkables. And if you head on over to the Bee Crafty website, you can see the breakdown of them. There is loads, okay? There are literally hundreds of designs. And they are broken down into Dinkables, which is sort of like the ATC size. And then you have texture discs, you have skylines, you have big ones, you have 6x6 original ones. And then the most recent addition has been the Grandes, which are big. And they're just fun. We just like them. If I ever need to lie down, that'll do. It's funny because it's true. Alright. So then we're going to add on some honeycomb. So yeah, so the first set, it was basically a couple of feather designs. As so. Honeycomb, because it just felt obvious for Bee Crafty. And hearts and stars. Because we thought, to be honest, who can craft without those? You know, the stars and the honeycomb and the heart, they are really a set number one type thing, aren't they? You know, where else, you know, Julie Andrews, I started at the very beginning. Those shapes just say that, don't they? So here we are. So that added that bit of white to those. Now, you can force dry your grit paste. You are actually allowed. But I will say this. If you are working on quite a quick project, I wouldn't bother. It dries ever so quickly. Because it is quite light. It's not like a thick, dense toothpaste type texture paste. It's light and airy. And gritty, obviously. I'm going to go around and I'm going to add in a bit of a faux stitch. I was going to add some more ink to these, but I really don't know. Okay. Where did I put the words? We'll circle back. So I'm going to add in these, because I love me a faux stitch, always have. When what I mostly made was cards, I always added in a faux stitch. And when I did scrapbooking, loved a faux stitch. But you may not know, you might do though. When I used to do primarily scrapbooking, it was ridiculously neat and organised. Everything had to be balanced and symmetrical, and all the photos had to be evenly double or triple layered. Whatever. And it was art journaling that freed me. I mean, they're just cool. They're just cool. Honestly, I could put a word on them and be happy forever. Right, like I said, I was going to add a bit more ink on, but I think I might just do it in a very sort of subtle yet messy way. I'm going to grab some purple, blue and pink Dylusions spray. Okay, I'm going to get the matte back. Already has a load of ink on it because it just seems like the right thing to do. Then make another one messy. Okay. And we're going to go for, so I'm going to mix up my Dylusions, Dylusions, not delusions, there's something else I have. But anyway, oh dear. And I'm going to tap some dilution spray in the blue onto that one. And then I'm going to go with the pink onto this one. These are really great as well if you actually want to completely tint your grit paste before you put it on. You can totally. Oh, this laid back lilac isn't open. Do I have an open one? Yes, I do. Which begs the question, doesn't it? How much laid back lilac does a woman need? Well, if it's me, I'm going to use our lilac on there. I'll tell you where I should have put them. Onto here, so I can give them a quick waft with the heat tool. I'll take that back out of the way. Okay, waft with the heat tool. And then I'm actually going to put some yellow on, but I'm going to put some of the yellow, i.e. the lemon zest, on every single one. But I'm heat setting first because I don't want the lemon. Now, they are water based and they are water reactive. So they will react in the same way your Distress Oxide sprays or your Distress Stain sprays will. But if I dry in between, they won't mix as much. That's my idea anyway. That's the plan, she says, full of hope and confidence. Laid back lilac is so good. I always underestimate it as a purple, but it's not. But if you are starting out with colour theory, do be careful with purple. It is a danger colour, okay? Has a life of its own and absolutely loves to create mud wherever it travels. It thinks it's funny. Okay, and I'm going to go in again with my heat tool. They do look good. See, they're just firm, small pieces as well. I think the nice thing about them as well is it's a small commitment to a project, isn't it? You know, if you want to make something or have a play with a new product or a new template or something, but you're not really wanting to get everything out or, you know, commit to a big page or anything right now. As well, I have lots of different sizes of journals. These are great because it's just a nice small thing you can have a play with. It's not a big commitment in terms of what you're going to make. Right, now I'm thinking which one should go on which one, because I don't want to, example, put the pink on the pink. I want to put the pink on the blue and maybe the purple on the pink, like the blue on the yellowy one, because I think that's better. No, I think I had it right first time. I think it was right first time. Okay. So we've got a left, right and middle. Okay, now I have to remember where I put the words. They're here. Everything is fine. Alright, so we're going to snip these off. Just our three little words. Three little birds, three little words. So we're going to go back to I do have a tube of Collage Matte Medium, you see. That's why I'm not crying about how little I have left. Okay. So I'm going to use that again as an adhesive this time. And then onto here. See, I think the journey goes well because we've got the stars here. I will say your matte medium will reactivate any of the Dylusions ink underneath. I just feel like I should tell you that. So if you do see it moving, I did warn you. And there you go. So start to finish in half an hour with all my wittering as well. So you could quite easily do that in less time. Here we go, let me just zoom in a bit for you. They never get quite as bright, do they, on screen as you hope they will. I never think it picks up the colours quite as well. So those are my 3 artist trading coins for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was just something just a little bit different to play with. So yeah, definitely have a go. You know, obviously you can use them for trading, artist trading coins. The clue is in the title. However, you can just keep them for yourself. There's little works of art. Put them in frame, absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you would like to see more of the Bee Crafty lives, please do head on over to the Bee Crafty page. Sally was actually on last night making a really lovely page using the Bee Crafty transparency prints. And I was on Tuesday and I made an art journaling page in my notebook. But like I say, you can also find us on YouTube if that's what you prefer. You just put Bee Crafty stamps into YouTube, or I will put a link on it later in the comments. All right then, guys, if you have any questions, anything you're not really sure on how to do, please let us know and we will try and make sure we do a little video for that. Thank you. Bye.